Testing 1, 2, 3. This will be the April 15th, 2015 City Council regular meeting.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the City Council of Satellite Beach, April 15th, 2015, approximately 7 p.m. Will you please join me in a moment of silence and a pledge? And a pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. We've been on to agenda item 3. This is citizens' comments for non-agenda items. For non-agenda items, the floor is open.
Richard Charbonneau, 619 North Robert Way, Satellite Beach. I just wanted to thank Chief Pearson and his staff, and of course the Sheriff's not here tonight. They did a presentation for different safety and security measures at the Satellite Beach auditorium. I know some of you guys were there, but I think a lot of the other people probably, because they don't have kids anymore, they weren't there, but they did a good job. And I didn't realize that his hands were tied. We just talked about it tonight, and same thing with the sheriff, that they can't come in there and go through lockers unless the principal invites them. And my daughter told me, she goes, Dad, my daughter goes to Satellite High, she said, Dad, the principal's not going to invite them in there because he doesn't want to see what's in those lockers. And she said, there's a lot more than drugs in there. She goes, there'll be weapons in there, and it'll be a big stink, and she says the principal's never going to go for it. So she said, the police are never going to get to see what's in there. But anyways, John, those guys did a good job, and it's kind of tough to be up at the stage. When you got Bruce Springsteen standing next to you, you know, that's winning. So, thanks again.
Thank you. Public comment or citizens' comment for non-agenda items. The floor is still open. Hearing none, bring it back to council. City council comments?
Mr. Mayor, it's too late for this meeting, but that microphone's not working.
Okay, thank you. Is it on? Is it plugged in? Can we check before we go any farther?
It doesn't look like it's plugged in. There's the, it's not. We're going to get you plugged in now.
I'll help, right?
There you go.
Hello? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, council comments. Mark?
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Frank?
I only have two things real quick. I went to the Space Coast League of Cities meeting on Monday night. George McTarian from Parish Medical Center was there and spoke about health clinics and how we can cut insurance costs. And I know it's been a goal of mine and a goal of our council to look into that. So I know Courtney is, and I just wanted to get it out there. Also, I went today to, for those of you who don't know, Chaplain Larry Booth has been our police chaplain since Phil Flagg and Ed Hartman were killed in a drunk driving accident Memorial Weekend of, I think, 92, 91. And Larry retired. Larry has cancer, and he's also retiring from our father's house next door. But it was a great tribute that you guys gave to Larry today, and thank you for me being able to be there. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I attended a meeting on Wednesday with the EDC, and it was a very interesting and informative meeting with the city manager. I also was at the high school program chief. Great job there. And I also attended Monday night the meeting at the Schechter Center on Muck. And I think that went exceptionally well. The residents of the unincorporated area where they were talking about to start the project, for the most part, was very, very receptive to the plans that the county has set forth. I think it was well done and a lot of information there. So that's all I have. Any other comments from council? Okay, hearing none, city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. We have actually, this is the time of the year that we have a lot going on. We have a 5K coming up April 18th. Also, the Beautification Board's plant sale is April 18th. And then, of course, April 19th, we have the Powell Lions Club Pancake Breakfast. This is a don't-want-to-miss event because it's pancakes, and it's bacon, too, and the chief will be cooking it. So you can get your tickets for that at the Recreation Department or from any Lions Club member. Also, if you just show up, you can get tickets there, too. So, the Satellite High School Stadium will be the host site for the 10th Annual American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, which will be April 25th and 26th. We do have a city team for that, and we will be having also a fundraiser event for that event on April 17th at the Pelican Beach Park, so please try to come to that event as well. I did want to highlight two programs, which was actually highlighted by one of our residents, Dixie Bottoms, who sent in a thank you letter regarding our community paramedic program as well as our Stop By and Say Hi program, which she utilizes both. That just gives me an opportunity to say that our community paramedic program has 11 members to date, and we will be adding 2 more to that program. And our Stop By and Say Hi program has 14 members currently right now. And these programs provide an important quality of life to our residents, so much so that even our local churches have donated funds from the last Sunrise Service event. That event raised $3,100 from for our community paramedic program, and that those churches were Satellite Beach United Methodist Church as well as the Our Father's House that participated in that fundraiser. I did include an article from the Tampa Bay News which indicates that federal funding now for disaster preparedness grants will be predicated on a community's willingness to address climate change. So it's a good thing that we are starting to do that. And that this is also basically on the state level. So unfortunately, if Florida doesn't begin doing that, we will not have disaster preparedness grants available to us here in Florida. We've been notified that by the Brevard County Parks and Rec Department that new rip current warning signs will be added to all the parks, including those owned by municipalities. So this is a great program. This is free to us. These signs will be delivered to our Public Works Department, who will install them in each of our parks. I think we're getting 9 signs, and or I think 9, yeah. And the I just wanted to point out that Tourism Development Council is the group that funded these signs, along with assistance from the Brevard County Parks and Recreation Department of the county. I did want to add a little action item, if you don't mind. Because I think we just need some general direction from council before we go full bore into creating an agenda item. We had some suggestions at the last community meeting to establish a green committee, or what you could call a sustainability committee, which would look at ways of, ways that from a kind of a grassroots level to, basically improve our environmental, basically how we can improve our environment. Mr. Jeff Chasteen is here tonight, and I would like to invite him for a second to come up and explain his idea, if you don't mind, of what, like, one of the things that they could focus on as a committee, and kind of give you a better idea of what it would do.
Thanks.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you very much. Honestly, what I have in mind just came about as a result of the meeting that I went to about 3 weeks ago, I think, at the library. We were talking about all the stormwater runoff issues and the pond and all that stuff. And it just occurred to me that really, I mean, I know there are lots of things that I can do. And I think as a city, if we get a few people behind it, I think we could get a lot of people in the community to commit to doing 1 or 2 things for the next year that will reduce, let's just say for starters, the nitrogen runoff from their own yard. And there's a program in Delaware which is really similar to this, I think, which, might be a good model, called the Livable Lawn. And it's all about cleaning up the rivers and the Chesapeake Bay. And so anyway, that was my idea. And with what Courtney just mentioned a moment ago, I mean, if we are able to get that part rolling, then another project focusing on something else could come right behind it. And I think we can get, some local contractors like landscapers and irrigation people and stuff like that. We only need one or two to join, and they get some promotion from us. We get them to help educate people in the community and things like that. That's really all I had in mind.
Beautiful.
So that's just kind of one of the projects that this committee could focus on. And some of the other things, we've had a lot of residents talk about, adding electric car stations to our parking lots and, things like that. And, it's when in our city, we like to rely on our community residents to help us do these projects, and we just don't have enough staff to do stuff like this. So it'd be good if we could create, a committee to focus on this stuff. And at your next meeting, we could bring back, how many members, what the job description could look like, and Mr. Chasteen agreed to help me with that. So, actually, I asked him to, and he finally twisted his arm. So, so if that's something that you would like to see come back to you, we could bring that to your for your next agenda, if that's something you'd like to see.
Just one question. I know sometimes we operate in silos. Would there be a potential, and of course this is your idea, but I'm just throwing this in there as a possible, involve Indian Harbor Beach on this?
Might be a good
Because
idea.
the old guard is gone, and, they're our next door neighbors, they might play along with this too. I don't know if that's something you'd want to consider.
I'd be happy to do that, yeah.
I mean, kick it around, see what you
Idea.
think. They may say,
Yeah,
no,
it
no,
is.
thank you, but.
Really good idea.
In fact, I saw Mark Monday night, and we were talking about how we were really looking forward to starting to do things together.
Yeah.
So I think,
it'd be a
Mark
great
Ryan,
way
the
to
city
start.
manager, would be a great advocate for what you're looking at doing, because it affects the whole beach side.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
100%.
Consensus from council? Great.
Okay, great.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
It was interesting at the city meetings how, the environment is really being looked on, especially, with the lagoon and so forth, how people brought that up. So I think it's a
Yeah.
great time to do it.
Yeah, I think the meeting on Monday night was, like you said, I think the county did an incredible job presenting that project. They used very simple language that non-scientists like me sincerely appreciated in their description of how they were going to do, the dredging itself. And they agreed to put up a pretty large barrier to help, buffer some of those surrounding residents from the spoil site property. And I think they did a fabulous job. So at the end of the meeting, I saw some people walk in angry and walk out very much on board. So I thought it was a great meeting. And I think that kind of shows you how much people are willing to, put up with to make sure our environment is, restored, especially the river, so.
I think Florida Today did a great job, too, of articulating what happened at the meeting, because I wasn't able to go because I was at the league meeting, but, I read the paper the next day, and it basically told me exactly what you guys are saying. So Florida Today did a great job.
That was good. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to agenda item 6, and there's no one here at this time for it, but I still think it's very important. This is a presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 21st, 2015 as Mothers Against Drunk Drivers Power Talk 21 Day. And I ask the chief if he would please read the proclamation.
And I said I would be happy to. I wouldn't be as eloquent as the mayor is, of course, but I would give it a shot. I also do not need these, but I'm going to put them on to support all of the people that do. You're very welcome. And one last thing, I'm not going to... What's that?
Look at those words.
Yeah, I can see them good. I don't want to read all the whereases, so every time I say "and," I'll put a whereas in there. Official proclamation. The City of Satellite Beach recognizes the importance of parents talking with their teens about alcohol, and high school students who use alcohol and other substances are 5 times more likely to drop out of school or believe good grades are not important. And teen alcohol use kills 4,700 people each year, more than all other illegal drugs combined. And the majority of kids say their parents are their primary influence when it comes to decisions about drinking alcohol. And Power Talk 21 Day was established on April 21st, 2014 to encourage parents and caregivers to embrace the importance of influencing America's youth America's Youth and Their Decisions About Drinking Alcohol, and in 2014, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers kicked off 21 Days in Support of 21, beginning on April 1st and culminating on Power Talk 21 on April 21st in order to create a sustained and prolonged national conversation about underage drinking, and to equip parents to talk with their teens about alcohol. MAD, Central Florida affiliate, will offer a free community parent workshop to give parents the tools and a parent handbook to effectively talk to their teens about alcohol. And these local parent workshops, also replicated across the country, will offer parents a research-based parent handbook to help them talk with their teens about alcohol and encourage adults to consider creating a safer community by becoming involved in reducing underage drinking. And I urge all citizens to join in the local and national efforts to raise awareness of the importance of parents and teens talking together about alcohol in order to reduce the risks and dangers posted to teens and communities. And therefore, Frank Catino, Mayor of the City of Satellite Beach, Brevard County, Florida, does hereby proclaim April 21st as Power Talk 21 Day.
Thank you very much. Any questions, Jeff? We're going to mail proclamation. So, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to agenda item 7, discuss, take action on resolution number 955. Jim?
Resolution number 955, a resolution of the City of Satellite Beach, Brevard County, Florida, regarding reimbursement of certain costs relating to the construction of various capital improvements generally described herein and providing an effective date.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution basically allows us to get reimbursed for any cost for the projects that we're going to be doing to basically all the infrastructure projects we're taking out the $2.5 million debt service for. Once we get that debt service, this allows us to reimburse ourselves from things that we've already done for those projects, so we can get started on them. So basically, like the engineering, any of the street resurfacing projects that we started prior to actually physically getting the loan, once we get the loan, we'll be able to reimburse ourselves back. So
Okay.
That's the purpose of it.
Great. Questions from council?
No.
Okay, at this time, open up for public comment on agenda item 7. Hearing none, back to council. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Vice Mayor Montanaro, second by Councilman Breimer. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, Lenore?
Councilwoman Gott? Yes. Councilman Breimer?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Montanaro?
Yes.
Mayor Catino?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 8, discuss, take action on ordinance number 1104. Jim?
Ordinance number 1104, an ordinance of the City of Satellite Beach, Brevard County, Florida, amending Section 58-159 of the Satellite Beach City Code by amending the effective date on the rate increase for the 10% utility tax on the sale and purchase of electricity, metered natural gas, liquid petroleum gas, and manufactured gas, ratifying previous rate increase, providing an effective date. It's the first reading of ordinance number 1104.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are actually redoing the utility tax ordinance because we had to change the effective date on that. We made a mistake in not considering a statute that requires us to give a 120-day notice to the Department of Revenue. That purpose of that notice is so they can notify people on their website, and even though they have it already on their website and didn't really need 120 days, we still have to comply with that statute, so we changed the effective date.
Okay. Thank you. Council comments?
Just a question. Under effective date of tax, it says readings and sales after October 1st, 2000. Should that say, rather than after, should that say on? Because otherwise you don't have a date that says when it starts. It just says it starts sometime after October 1st. I mean, should it say a specific date is my question. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know.
That's fine. You can change it to on.
Okay.
I think that's consistent with our other ordinances. So.
Okay, thank you. Any further comment from council? At this time, I'd like to open it up for agenda item 8 for public comment. Hearing none, back to council. Motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Montanaro, second by Councilman Breimer. Any further discussion from council? Hearing none, Lenore?
Councilwoman Gott? Yes. Councilman Breimer?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Montanaro?
Yes.
Mayor Catino?
Yes, motion carries. Agenda items for the next regular council meeting. If you please take a look at it. We have a 6:50 meeting for appointment to a board, and then the agenda items are listed here. Any additional ones, please see Courtney.
Looks good.
Okay?
So we'll add that Green Committee
Yes, will I be adding that? Yes.
information, okay.
Okay. Any further business before council? Hearing none, meeting adjourned.
Mayor, I just wanted to point out that my meeting is shorter than Andy's meeting, okay?